a big name potentially on the move. The Greek freak he's going to be Greek, and he's still going to be a freak, but he's not going to be the Milwaukee Greek freak. He has more or less said he is interested in looking for a new home, is how they worded it, which basically said, Bucks, we stink. I am wasting my time here. You can trade me now. I am okay with this. And the Bucks are like, okay, cool. The downside to this whole thing is you got a week till the NBA trade deadline. So if you're going to trade him now, well, you got to get going quickly. I think they said a handful of teams going from the Warriors and plenty of others who started looking to offer him. I don't know if trading him right now is the move either necessarily for both the Bucks and Giannis, because let's not forget he's injured right now. He has a calf injury. He's out for a month and some change. And we know calf injuries they're like the new knee, like when knee injuries are in football and basketball, especially the calf injury is, if it says 4 weeks recovery, take 6. Like there's the ones you don't really mess with. Giannis is there's going to be a grace period when he joins any team, just his play style, how dominant he is, how the ball kind of rolls through him. It's not like a hypothetical, but if you put like a Steph or a KD on any team, worst case scenario is you can have them just be an elite shooter until they get going, and they can still. With Giannis, you can't really stick him in the corner because, well, we kind of know how that goes. 99.7% of the time it's ugly. Then 1% of the time he looks like Steph Curry. It doesn't make sense. But if I'm the Bucks, I'm almost considering not trading him now. Being like, look, we'll move you in the offseason when there's more teams in the running because they're not already out of it per se. You have a little more of the draft situation, free agencies underway. You can trade more future picks. So I might consider waiting and I'm looking at the teams that can compete now. I don't know how much they want to gut their team to bring in Giannis, because you're not going to, unless somehow Nico Harrison stumbled his way back into a front office somewhere, you're not getting Giannis for one aging injured player who's going to want to trade out less than 300 days later and a single draft pick. So if I'm the Bucks, I'm really considering holding off on it.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's been a couple teams rumored about with some players that are injured as well, that they could afford to miss out
That
on.
was a little.
Warriors being one of them. I mean, you're trading Jimmy Butler in that case. It's probably not the best for both parties, but you know what? It might be better in the long run. I don't know, but it's going to be very interesting to see where he goes. It's going to happen now or it's going to happen this offseason. Take your pick. But if I'm the Bucks, I probably want it now, if I'm being honest, because what this tells me is Doc is not my guy going forward. And so I'd rather have all offseason to figure out who my guy is going to be and knowing what team he's going to have. And that's probably part of why Giannis wants out too. I mean, not only is it just the team dynamic just not working for him, Doc has rubbed, especially superstars, the wrong way many, many times since his days in Boston. This is a warning we had when he first took the job. Like, this might not work out, guys. Let's pump the brakes. So when you look at what Milwaukee has going for him, there's not a lot, and it's really Giannis, and that's about it. I do love there's obviously this rumored package going for the Warriors, which I just mentioned. I think is really interesting. Jimmy Butler, Jonathan Kuminga, Brandon Podziemski, and then three straight first round picks. So the next three they have in 26, 28, and 32. And then their 2031, they swap first rounds. So, like, if you're going to get rid of things, you probably feel pretty good about that package because one of those guys is injured. One of those guys you just picked up back again in Kuminga. Podziemski, you probably don't want to get rid of if you're the Warriors, but if it's Giannis in return, I mean, sign me up.
Yeah.
And the NBA, before we get into the draft conversation for picks, NBA draft sucks compared to every other NBA draft, every other league's draft. Like, the amount of success that comes from anywhere outside the top 15 picks is limited. I mean, Jokic was the first non-top 30 player to ever be an MVP, and he was drafted during a Taco Bell commercial. So
That worked out for him in the long run. Now he probably has unlimited Taco Bell. So you know what? He's the real winner here.
only league that has draft picks happen during a commercial break in the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, it's when you only get like 6 players out of a draft that end up playing meaningful contribution minutes, maybe 10 if you have a pretty good draft. That's where it gets a little bit rough. But
Yeah.
what's tough with this too is I want to see him stay in the East. Especially since the East has so many superstars injured right now, especially if the trade is made before the deadline. But there's so few teams in the East that can really offer a whole lot because all of them either traded their picks, so they don't have much to offer. Like, I'm looking at the list. The Knicks would be a wonderful spot, and it sounds like Giannis would actually prefer to go there. You have Karl Anthony Towns, but that's about all you can have to offer. But they just brought in Miles Turner for $100 million. Like, I don't know how well that'll work, and that you don't really have a lot of draft picks because you moved so many of those as well. So maybe you can also get like Miles McBride, get a third team involved or something like that. But the Hawks have a ton of picks and young players, that they just got rid of Trae Young. So we'll see. And it's the East, so they might have a chance there. The Raptors would be great. The problem is I don't know, because the Raptors being surprisingly good. Scotty Barnes has been awesome. If you could keep Scotty Barnes and bring in Giannis, I think that's a good fit. It's just, what do you have to get? What can you do that while keeping Scotty Barnes and maybe Brandon Ingram as well, and just get rid of everything else? I don't know. The weird one would be the Magic, the team I was really high on coming to the year and has done nothing short of let me down. Word is Paulo Blanquero and the head coach there do not quite see eye to eye. Maybe it's Paulo, the young, very promising guy, for Giannis to go there. Maybe that, and this problem is they don't really have picks either, because they gave them all away for Desmond Bane's biceps. So they're in another tough spot as well. So you're back where we were before the season, when there was rumors of the trade. Rockets, Spurs, Warriors, like the same song and dance here. So it's
Heat. The
it's
Heat are
tough.
always in these conversations somehow. I still don't know where they get the wiggle room from. I feel like they've had a bunch of guys on the books the last 7 years that just somehow are not costing that much, but they're still expensive players. I don't know. I don't know how the Heat do it, but the Heat are always out there.
They
I
are depth over skill, that's for sure. Like they're 10 deep, but not any of those 10 are in the top 4 of others.
Look, hear me out though. All right. Here's my hear me out for
Are you
this.
putting him on the Kings?
I'm putting him on the Kings because you have DeMar DeRozan, you have a Keegan Murray, you have a Malik Monk, you have a, I don't know, take your pick, Russell. Who's the other point guard? Zach LaVine. Take your pick. 2 of them in return for Giannis, and the Kings give up draft picks and swaps. Like,
That Kings first round pick is always I mean, that's been a good lottery pick for many, many years. So
the Kings' first round pick is great for whoever ends up with it. That's not the Kings.
hey, it's good for the
That's
Kings until they get rid of that player.
no. They have like the last top first round, like the last first round draft pick they had that was useful was De'Aaron Fox. Before that was Tyreek Evans.
Tyrese Halliburton, he was useful. They just
Okay,
got rid of him.
Tyrese, yes, yeah, okay, fair.
I'm saying they're good picks. They just aren't good for the Kings.
Yeah, they're just like the player just never lasts for the Kings. So if you're the Kings, maybe just don't take those draft picks anymore.
Just the take out the middleman.
The same with the Colts in the first round draft picks. Just forget those guys. Give it to somebody else. Get some return on your investment at least that you know can work. I don't know. I don't know really what the plan is here, but there's a lot of things that can go better for Giannis and Milwaukee, and you just like at this point in time, go to a city that's known for international players. Sacramento does that. You know, Milwaukee was the next closest. Toronto, those are all known for international players having success. Houston, New Orleans. Now I know we joke about Giannis's food tours, but let's imagine Giannis in New Orleans on a food tour. I don't know how they get him, but I'd like to see Giannis having beignets and whatever other gumbo and shrimp and grits. I mean, just could imagine. It'd be
Giannis will
hilarious.
enter a Shaq
Crawfish.
era for the back half of his career. He'll go full Shaq mode for the last few years.
Go reverse Zion. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he ends up doing, but it's not working in Milwaukee. So I still felt like one that was the writing was on the wall. It was either going to be him or Doc, and for whatever reason, no organization wants to move on from Doc correctly. So they just keep bringing him back and kick out all the good players.
What's insane too is when they got rid of Adrian Griffin to bring in Doc a little over 2 years ago now, they were 30-13 with Giannis and Dame Lillard as your two-headed monster. And since then, the wheels have flown off. The franchise has been basically stuck in the mud, and they have to, at this point, they have no other choice but to trade. But whoever does if they do make that trade for him in the next week or so, let's say it is a team like Miami finds a way to do it, someone like that, someone who has some room, maybe even Golden State. I'm going to try and get Drew Holiday too. I'm going to try and reunite those two, because Drew Holiday is just hanging out in Portland of just like, hey, still can play
Dame
really
in at
good
the same
defense.
time. Dame's still a free agent.
No, Dame's on Portland.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he did go back to Portland.
Yeah, he ain't going. He left there once and it didn't go well. He ain't leaving again. Like that's home now. But see if you can bring in Drew Holiday. He's older. He's got maybe a year. He still plays good defense. He can contribute. Him and Giannis, they do good work together. So I'm just throwing it out there for whoever does it. But let us know down below who you all think should make the trade for Giannis, and should they do it now, or should they wait, or does it even really matter? It's going to happen regardless.